My Girl is here on 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray, released by Sony. It can be found as the slipcover edition, available at your online retailers. This is one of those movies that seemed like it was on a steady rotation when we all had cable. I've seen the film multiple times and at various stages in my life, and each time I get the feels. Coming-of-age movies hit different back then, and this is one of my favorites in that category. The cast all put in a solid performance, and the overall story definitely pulls on the heartstrings. This is an easy one to recommend. My Girl on 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray has an aspect ratio of 185:1 with native 4K resolution, and it supports both HDR10 and Dolby Vision. For purposes of this review, I will be discussing the Dolby Vision transfer. My Girl on 4K underwent a restoration from the original camera negative. The source is largely clean and free from most blemishes with a healthy grain structure. Sony chose to use a 66GB size disc, and bit rates normally hover in the 70s and slightly above. Noteworthy improvements to overall detail are clearly evident. The picture doesn't exhibit sharp-looking clarity. There is inherent softness from the source. As such, details aren't going to be as clearly visible. Still, close-ups especially do show favorable gains in regard to texture. Mid-level and far away, though, not so much. Supporting Dolby Vision, the palette manages to impress with the grading. Shot in the early 90s with a 70s time period, colors do exhibit, at times, striking boldness. Primaries in general are full and visually pleasing, most often in bright daytime scenes. Skin tones are natural and whites show good stability, with only a hint of blooming, mostly due to the source-related softness. Night scenes are nicely rendered, and shadow detail is firmly on point with no crushing. My Girl on 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray supports a DTS 5.1 audio as well as a 2.0 track. There are also international options available. Though I don't have the existing Blu-ray, the 4K disc's audio appears to be a direct port from that edition. I honestly wasn't expecting a Dolby Atmos upgrade. This film being what it is, a small coming-of-age story, I don't necessarily felt needed the audio bump, which would be kind of overkill for this film. If you own the previous Blu-ray, you more or less have probably heard this before. The film's sound design is mostly front-focused for most of the duration, only seldom occasional ambience or music emanates from the surrounds. The sequence with the bees, for example, is one example of such activity. Dialogue is clear through the center, though it's slightly prone to struggle a bit in its delivery with some minor distortion. My memory of the Blu-ray audio is a bit hazy, so I'm not sure if this carried over from that particular disc. As far as the low end goes, this is a bit puzzling, as I could swear there's no real output there. As I don't have the existing Blu-ray, I can't double check with that particular copy, so this may in fact be an error. Honestly, the need for a robust LFE signal in this film is not necessarily warranted, but if it is indeed excluded, it still may be an error. Speaking of errors, I also checked briefly the 2.0 audio, which is listed as surround on the cover, but this seems like a mono track to my ears. If both of these are indeed an issue, Sony should be notified. Nothing new was included as far as bonus content goes, only a few legacy extras ported over from prior releases. There's an audio commentary for fans to enjoy, a day on the set featurette, and an original behind-the-scenes look. Not for the picture quality, I'm going to give My Girl on 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray a B+. Sony's transfer of the film gives fans plenty to enjoy with a solid-looking picture. Details show subtle improvements, and Dolby Vision nicely enhances the visual aesthetic. I think most will agree that this is worth the upgrade. For the audio, I scored it a B-. This is a simple coming-of-age story, and it doesn't lend itself to showy audio cues or bombastic action sequences. This is a dialogue-heavy driven film, and as such, the 4K's rendering of DTS stays true to its tone. If the issues I discussed are in fact errors, Sony should rectify this. And for extras, I graded them a C-. There really isn't too much in the way of bonus materials, and nothing for old fans to sink their teeth into. Even newcomers may not find too much value with what's presented, but it's at least something, if not terribly in-depth. So that is my review of My Girl on 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray from Sony. If you're interested in picking up a copy for yourself, I will leave a direct link in the comments section, but if you have the disc already, let me know your thoughts down below. In the meantime, please like, subscribe, hit that bell notification. So until next time, this is Adam with Movie Guy 365. I will see you at the movies.